However, chat, I want to talk to you about something super serious. Gotta lock in. Super serious topic. Which the good news is Mr. Lawyer Man told me that I can talk about whatever I want to talk about when it comes to the merch issue. So now I get to tell you anything. The thing is, I don't really remember unless you ask. So if you have any questions about it, ask me. However, chat, talking about stress, finally I can talk about this. I have been unleashed. I have kept my mouth shut because I was like, you know what? No. We can solve this amicably, right? So I keep my mouth shut. I did. But now the situation is like... So for those of you that don't know, I will announce... I have two announcements. One good, one bad. So I actually have good news and bad news. I'll tell you the bad news first and then the good news. So bad news for merch. From a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very professional, like I'm talking like PR, professional, calm way to say it. 1 being like not professional. How professional do you want it to be? Because like, it's up to you. 1, we're so cooked, bro. Alright, 1. Alright. So, update on the merch. We are fucked. Alright, brother! We are fucked. It's so fucked. And I have been so fucking... I was sad about it, and then I got mad about it, and then I locked in. So, I went through, like, the fucking 5 stages of grief in, like, 24 hours, basically. So, in that meeting, because I had a meeting with Mr. Lawyer Man, and then during the whole time, he was trying to explain shit, and I sat there, and I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. And he's like, what do you not understand? So, I was like, okay, I will tell you this. A little bit of like fourth wall break. But when it came to the merch chat, I've been fucking fighting on this since the day the whole Vshojo shit blew up, right? So from day 1, I have so many things to tell you. From day 1, I was like, okay, this whole issue is bad, but I need to secure merch, right? From the start, I was like concerned about the merch. Because every other thing, it's like, yeah, sure, y'all already know at this point, but like we're owed money, blah, 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 whatever. However, I was like the most concerned about the merch part. So I've been working on that since end of 2 months ago. So at this point, it's almost been... It's I guess been more than a month, right? Like a month and a couple of weeks. Yeah, a month and a half. For merch. Ooh. I'm gonna tell you the timeline of the situation. I'm gonna drink a lot as this happens because I was so like, oi. So, as we were talking about the merch situation, at first I was like, I need updates, right? Like I need to know what's going on, what I can do, what we like, is it still gonna be sorted, blah blah blah. And then they were like, yeah, we'll get back to you. So they get back to us kind of late. Now this is gonna be a very reoccurring trend. And then as they keep coming back to us with like nothing, it's like, yes, queen, serve us nothing, right? So I'm like, okay, remember during the subathon I told you guys like, you know what, there's like a solution. And chat's like, don't do that. The solution was like, I was willing to pay. So I know other talents have spoken about this. So I was willing to pay for everything in order to get the merch back and then pay again in order to ship it. So something that you might not know when it comes to merch production is you need to not only pay for the production of the merch, you need to pay for the storage of the merch because like that, all the merch have to be kept somewhere, right? So the longer the merch stays in the storage, the more money you have to pay. So that is why I said from day 1, I need to know what's going on because we need to get this fast because the longer this merch stays idle in a location, the more we have to pay, right? And then the merch will then be sent to a distributor and then you pay the distributor to distribute your shit. The shipping is its own separate thing. So there's a lot of like behind the scenes payment. That's why usually when it comes to merch, it's like even though like, oh, the merch is expensive. Usually it's because of that. Because it's like, not only do you have to pay for one thing, you have to pay for a lot of things, right? And then services, you need, it's a lot of things. So I was like, okay, I need to know what I can cover, what is already covered, what I can do to help, blah, blah, blah. And I was being really nice about it. I was like, oh, is there anything I can do to help? Is what I said. And then eventually they're like, yeah, we're kind of like, there's a lot of issues. So I was like, all right, you know what? Send me how much is needed. And if I can, I will pay for it. Because in my mind, at that time, I know it's going to be a lot of problems, but in my mind, I was like, I just want these merch to get to people for my own mental sake. Because one thing I really fucking hate, I'm a very whimsical vibe person. Like, I believe in the power of like, don't take everything seriously. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just gotta laugh it off. If it's a bad situation, you don't have to address it like it's bad. Sometimes you just have to laugh about it. It gives you power to overcome it kind of vibes. But when it comes to business, I do not play like that. Because I think fucking around with problems, it's fine. But then if you fuck around with money and trust, now that's too far. You know, there's things that you just don't fuck around with. So I was like, give me data, you know? And then they gave me data, right? So now I'm checking this data. And then I remember I said, I don't get it. And they're like, what do you mean you don't get it? And then Mr. Lawyer Man was like, okay, what do you not understand? So I can explain it to you. And I'm like, no, like, have you seen this data? So then we looked at the data together and they're like, oh, chat, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. It is an Excel sheet, right? With numbers. No joke. It's numbers, numbers, numbers. Total. Source. Trust me. So now I'm like, well, how do I know this is real? Right? Now, here's the thing, chat. I'm not the type of person that would doubt you. However, you know the reason why I doubted it in the first place? Like, at first, I believed it. Here's the thing. At first, I believed it until I saw the breakdown of what they wrote. One of the things they wrote that made me like, this is so fucking odd. They wrote, like, merch that we sold and merch that we sold versus, like, merch that were sold and not shipped. Like, sold and shipped versus merch sold and not shipped, right? So they wrote that on data, blah, blah, blah. And then there's like the total amount of everything, total amount of what is in stock. It's a whole thing. Was it neat? It wasn't even neat, by the way. It was like the messiest sheet I've ever fucking seen. It's just like a fucking sheet. And here's what gave it away for me. It wrote that one of the items that was sold was the t-shirt, the numbered t-shirt, right? Now, this is the great part of this. So if you don't know, I sold like... There was a merch drop of mine where it's called the number t-shirts. So each person will get like their own unique number. If let's say you bought like the 5th shirt, you get the number 5, right? And then the next person will get the number 6. Next person, number 7.
Spectrals for the one
now, very important, very important. Remember that one time, like when I have conventions and stuff, like I do walkies, people would come up and they're like, hey, look at this number. And I always keep a mental note. Because I really like, look at this number. It's like, oh, I'm like scamber number something. And I remembered I saw scamber number 560 something. It was like 500 above, like 550 above. Correct? Correct. In that sheet, it says that I sold the t-shirt less than 500. I'm not gonna tell you what, but there were like t-shirts sold and it was only a couple of hundred, not 500. So I was like, that can't be right. That literally cannot be right because I've seen with my own eyes people wearing fucking t-shirts with the number 500 on it. So I'm like, we sold more than that, right? So I'm like, okay, it's just like outdated data. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to fact check this. That took more time. So I think it's like an data update issue or some shit. So now we need more time because now we have to go back being like, hey, y'all, I don't know what to tell you, but the data's wrong.
They should hang out in offline chat. We can teach them to count to K.
I was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, well, something's wrong with this. It's not that I don't trust you, but I think it's not updated. I literally said, I was like, it's not that we don't trust them or anything. I think they might have just sent like a not updated version of it or something. Like we didn't get any receipts. We didn't get no proof. So I'm like, I am willing to pay for it. I just need to know that what I'm paying is the correct amount. Boom, more time is needed now. So then we have more time and they're like, well, we're swamped because you're not the only one affected. Now I get that. So I'm like, all right, so let's talk about that. I literally said, is there anything more I could do? So we start talking more about the payments. And at this point, chat, I made it 100,000% clear, because I said it over and over again, that I was willing to cover as whatever cost is needed in order to get these items sent to their rightful owners. And I said that over and over and over again. I'm going to be honest, chat. I don't want to sound like, oh, that's such a saint move. No, a part of me kind of was like, oh, that kind of sucks, right? Because... and this is the more selfish, like, I'm gonna be very honest about this. We didn't get them. You know this, but like, we didn't really get the money. So, it's kind of like, we're paying more, However, I think it's just fair. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not doing this because like, oh, I already got the money and then I'm just using the money for this. It's not like that. It's more like a conscious thing for me. It's like, I can't sleep properly knowing that I literally scammed people. I know that it's not my fault, but I feel like it is, and I feel like I scammed people, right? So I'm like, shit, I just need to fix this somehow because I really don't like business being fucked up. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'll stomach it. Whatever. And every time I say like, oh, I'll pay for that, they're like, oh, but we have this other thing. And I'm like, that's all right. I'll pay for that too. And then they take a week and then go, but we have this other thing. And I'm like, but so you had that other thing that I said I'd pay for, and then you take a week and then you tell me there's another thing, and I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. And then you take a week to tell me the first thing came back with more things. So then now I'm like, man, just get it sorted. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, just get it fucking sorted, right? And then we had that conversation during the subathon where I was talking to Chad about like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm down to pay for the merch thing. And Chad's like, listen, man, we don't really want you to do that because according to Chad, like, Chad buys the merch to support me. And then now, not only did I not get the money, I will spend more of my own money to get this sorted. And Chad would rather not have that happen. And I was like, I understand the perspective. A part of me felt kind of shitty about it because I'm like,
step by step,
you know what I mean?
You would have ended up bailing Vshojo out of bankruptcy.
I can't make a comment on that, but I wouldn't do it. Even if I could, I wouldn't. But either way, right? I get Chat's perspective. My perspective was just like, I felt like shit because I feel like I scammed you guys,
They were
but I understand your
taking
perspective
you
too.
for a ride and were going to squeeze you for everything they could.
Keep that in mind. Somehow, Chat, fast forward after everything. After Chat was like, Michi, we don't really want you to do that, blah, blah, blah. I messaged them back and I was like, hey, I need updates for this, blah, blah, blah. Because like, I'm gonna be honest, the more this keeps happening, the more unwilling I'm becoming, right? I didn't say no, but I told them that I am slowly becoming unwilling to do certain things now, blah, 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 blah. And out of nowhere, out of the blue, they just went, yeah, well, we can't accept your payment. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean by that? They're like, we can't let the talents pay for these things, so we can't accept your payment. Now you might think
Thanks,
that's so nice. Finally, they're doing something good for once, right? Because finally they're like, oh, the talent shouldn't pay for this because that's not their responsibility. So I'm like, oh, does that mean that you're just gonna send it to us for free because, you know, that's what is technically the correct thing to do? And they said no. Yep. So now I'm like, what do you mean by that? So not only are you not allowing me to pay for them, it's not even like, I don't know how to word it. It's like, you know when like, this is the best way I can describe it, right? Imagine you're going to dinner with a friend and then the bill comes and your friend is like, no, you don't need to pay. But then your friend doesn't pay. So, and then you're like, lah, what do I do? So it's like, oh wait, okay, like I don't pay. Like you don't want me to pay, but are you paying? And they're like, no. I'm like, then how do we get out? And he's like, I don't know. Like
Thanks,
that.
Dengle, for the 15 Lisa.
No, you might think that is confusing, right? And I also think it's confusing. So I was like, what does this mean, brother? So, if you think, like, oh, but I don't get it either. That's what I don't understand. Because it's like, I offer to pay. You say, no. Yes, I will pay. I invite you to eat. I will pay. And then they don't pay. And you're like, lah, but you're not paying. And he's like, correct. How do we go home? We done. So I'm like, okay. So then I double checked. I was like, how do I get my merch? And then they literally said, you don't.
That they had an entire warehouse full of squishy Jared butt mouse pads and realized they were sitting on the gold all along.
You know what's insane? I literally brought that word per word. I brought that up to Mr. Lawyer Man. Because the way they were doing it, they're like, this is ours now. Like, well, it's not ours, but it's in our possession, basically. So we cannot allow you to pay for these things. These are in our possession. That sounded like in their fucking storage, right? They have like blocks of gold. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is like valuable material that we're fighting to keep. Motherfucker, we had Jared butt pads. It's a butt pad of Jared. Like, desk mats, butt pads. It ain't that serious. You know what I mean? Like, it really ain't that serious. So I was like, what the fuck? Then how do I get my merch? And they literally said, you don't. You can't. You can't get your merch. I was like, okay, then how are you gonna send it to people? No comment. So I was like, Then what do I do? So I sadly had to release that statement. At that time, I was super fucking sad.
It means exactly one thing. They think the merch is worth more than you offered when everything shakes out. Never once have they made a decision in anyone's interest but their own. Also, they owe the distribution center.
I will say though, there are certain aspects of this issue that I can't talk about that is fucked, but I can't talk about right now because it's getting sorted and stuff. So they've basically in the past... Okay, this happened like 2 days ago, but we've been in negotiations. Like, I think I got the whole, like, we can't let you pay, like,
Is it about
6 days
bankruptcy
ago?
proceedings? Like they aren't allowed to divest assets during those proceedings. If
No,
there might be some liability, they open themselves up to by touching assets before filing for Chapter 7. Sounds like people trying to cover their asses.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities to this, right? But all I can say right now is I have an assumption, but I obviously can't talk about this assumption because I don't want to get into any problems or get anyone hurt by what I say as well. But I already stated like what I think to Mr. Lawyer Man, and Mr. Lawyer Man's also like, yeah, we think the same. So hopefully that gets sorted first. However, it's basically for the past couple of days.
Crazy how
It's
they're
been
willing
insane.
to get any money and just keeping the merch indefinitely.
It's been so fucking bad because I'm like, at first I thought that they're just dumb. Like, I'll say this, I thought that they're just like bad with money and they're just being stupid. Like, they're not malicious, but they're just being stupid. For the past couple of days, I don't think so. I think a little bit. This is not malicious, but like they are definitely trying to protect themselves, right? Like they're definitely trying to protect themselves more here. Even though it puts us in like a weird position, it doesn't really matter. So I was definitely fucking upset about it. And it took me days to double check because I'm like, is there any other way? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, what if I do this? They're like, no. And I'm like, I just want my merch back. And they're like, no. It's like, TLDR, it was there like that. It's like, I'm like, I just want my merch. No. Oh, are you gonna ship it? No. So, are we gonna do anything with the merch? No. But why? And here is one of the things that made me so
Thanks,
fucking
stars,
sad.
044
Well,
for the
upset.
2 resub.
I will be honest, upset. You know that sign posters thing, right? I have some merch that I produce myself. So one of the best example is that poster. There was this like bundle. If you bought the bundle, it comes with like a hand signed poster that got released. And oh my god, I've been like low-key beating myself up for this fucking shit. Because I produced those posters and I paid for the production, right?
Ed Scott scammed for
I paid for
$5.
everything.
If only we had a group of people who could go on a heist, Ocean's 11 style.
Ooh, you don't get it, chat. I paid for that myself. And then I got it here. I signed them, right? And basically, I commissioned the art. I paid for the production. I spent a month. I think a lot of like Maiko knows this too. Maiko knows, a lot of my friend knows. I spent a month to sign those posters because you know how I sign my posters. Like I'm not the type to just be like signature and then that's it. Like I signature, I give doodles. I try to make it look as pretty as possible because I think like doing that, like each poster is basically different from the other. Like it's similar but never the same. I doodle, I put a lot of effort into my posters because I'm like, oh my god, you know, like you got the bundle, right? The least I can do is give you like my 110% on this shit. So I spent a month. I got like the markers and everything. My wrist hurted. I remember telling Maiko like every week, because I would this is what I do. I would stream for 14 hours a day. And then I'd end the stream. I would sign posters until 3 a.m. Go to bed, wake up, stream again, end the stream, sign more posters until 3 a.m. over and over for 1 month straight.
Thanks,
no
joke. For the
and there were times I was in a meeting with Maiko and Maiko could hear me fucking making the poster. I'm like, it's okay, Maiko. I'm just making these posters. And my wrists were fucking hurting. And I was like, it's done. It's finally done. I was so fucking excited. And then I paid. Like, I packed it up. I bought the materials to pack it up. I paid for the shipping for it to be distributed, right? So everything about that merch was paid by me personally. It wasn't like, oh, Vshojo. No, I sorted it. I paid for it. But because I sent it and it landed in their hands, it now belongs to them. And chat, I sent it 3 days before the situation blew up.
Wait, they kept the posters signed during the stream? Wait. Michi, I'll get the pitchfork.
No, you don't get it. I sent it 3
Thanks,
days.
_2 for the 14 resub.
I could have kept it. I was crying about it. I was literally crying about it. I think I was like talking to Michael like yesterday and I was fucking crying. I was like I should have just kept it. I literally should have just been like, if only I was a bit more fucking lazy. But I remembered because they gave me a deadline. They were like, hey, if you want this to be shipped properly, like at a proper date, you need to send it like tomorrow. And I was like, okay, I'll send it tomorrow. So then like the moment I'm done, like pen down, the next day I woke up early, I bought the materials, I packed it myself, I contacted people, blah, 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 blah. I went to the place, cause like you can get it picked up, but then if you get it picked up, you have to schedule the pickup. And they were like, you need to send it by tomorrow latest. And I was like, okay, I'll go by myself. And then I sent it, and then 3 days later, they were like, so, we're fucked. And I'm like, huh? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I just sent it. I literally just sent it. And I paid for like guaranteed fast shipping because I really did not want to make you guys wait because that is a bundle item. Like if I'm tardy, you're not gonna get the bundle. You know what I mean? Like if you ordered the bundle and I'm tardy, you're gonna basically have to wait longer to get everything. And I really did not want to make people wait. No! I didn't tell you in our call, but this was the first time I've ever cried from work-related shit. I've been furious to say the least. Michael! Bro, Michael's been working so fucking hard to... Oh my god, Michael! I can't tell you guys the content of the fucking data they sent us. I'm gonna cry just thinking about this. They sent... So, we fought for 2 weeks to get a very specific data, because...
Thanks, North
in my head,
_of _racy for the sub.
I was like, listen, if we can't get the merch sent over, for the least, we can compensate it. So I need the data to know who to compensate, right? Yeah, dong. Because like, if I just know, if all I know is like, oh, this is the merch. Like, okay, cool. Who do I send it to? I don't know. So I'm like, I need to know. And then they sent me a data that has nothing to do with what I asked for. And then it's like one sheet, like one page of item, rice, and then it says like to be disclosed. It was like the data was so fucked. It was chat. It literally looks like I open Google Sheet,
Michi,
I type number, I close
happen
Google
to know the
Sheet.
address of the warehouse?
As we were sorting this, right, Michael was like, okay, we need plan B, plan C, plan D. Michael was coming up with like plan Bs. He had plan Bs for the plan B. You know what I mean? So it's like, in case this is what they need, I have a contact. I have this, I have that. And Michael's been working. And then literally all they had to do was just go like, you know what? Okay. All they had to do was agree to one thing. We have everything prepared. Like, if it's like, oh, we'll pay, but then like, we'll send it to where? We know where. It's like, who's gonna ship it? We know who. Like, we need the data. Everything else, we will take care of it. Just hand it over. All they needed to do was hand it over. And they literally said no. After like, Michael's been breaking his back for this for a month, all they said was no. It's nuts! If we made it difficult, right? If I were like, oh, well, you still need to ship it. Or like, oh, well, we need to have yours. Like, we made it as easy as fucking possible. You need money? Okay. You need a place to store? Okay. You need a place to distribute? Okay. You need someone to run the data? Okay. You need someone to pack? Okay. We have everything. Like, Michael already fucking did so much to secure so many things. All they needed to say was okay. And then they didn't. So it's like, what is the matter? Like, why? So it was so fucking bad. And I was so sad about it. I'm sad about everything. But one thing that made me so frustrated, right, was like, I spent that whole day stressing to ship those posters 3 days before this happened. If I were to just be a little bit lazier, not care about the deadline, I would still have the posters. Those would have been secured. And then I asked Mr. Lawyer Man, I'm like, wait a minute, but because they're like, yeah, like they produced it, so it's theirs. And I'm like, no, but some of the merch, I produced it. Like, I paid for the production. I paid for everything. From start to finish, it was all my personal money. So what? And they're like, yeah, but it's in their hands. So it's there. And they haven't even paid me back for that production, bro. So I was like, you're joking. You're joking. They didn't even pay me for it. So I was like, okay. It's not even about the money. I spent a month And I poured my heart and soul into those posters, chat. Each poster, I'm like, okay, this is like, because here's the thing, right? When you're signing a lot of posters, I will be very honest, it's so easy to get into the mentality of like, just get it over with. You know what I mean? However, in my head, I was like, no, because people bought this. They expect people spend money on a fucking hand-signed poster. If this one poster, I'm lazy about it, who's the person taking it will be sad.
Storage fees for the warehouse, so it's likely that they actually do not have legal possession of the merch. The warehouse might even sell the merch to cover their losses.
Oh,
literally just theft.
I wish I can tell you. There's a lot. Every single poster, I was literally like, the person that's gonna receive this will have to feel the amount of effort I put into it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna give you half-ass shit. So
BRB chat, I'm about to go on my training arc to prepare P-Poriot.
I know there's this sentiment of people being like, oh, merch is like merch. Like okay, I'm not saying it's bad merch, but sometimes people don't really care about the quality of the merch. Chat, I will let you know. I would talk to Maiko. This is how I talk to Maiko when it comes to merch. I would be like, when it comes to the clothing, I would be like, okay, I want it to be this percentage, this treated, this fabric, this cut. Like, I'm very specific about it because I think if you guys trust me enough to buy my merch, I want to know that it's of good quality. I'm not gonna give you fucking thin-ass paper schlop, right? So I put so much fucking effort because I be gaffing about it. I think I put a lot of effort into the merch I make, especially the ones that I can physically hold. That I put in like everything I got. And then I sent it. And then they just fucking kept it. So I'm like, now you know. Being extra particular is good. I overstress about it sometimes, but now you understand why I'm like, chat, I really want you to get it. Well, because you don't know shit, you paid for it, you deserve it back, right? But also, I think like, I don't know, I was really looking forward to be like, I think if you guys got it, you'd be like, oh my god, I can see the effort put into it. You know what I mean? Like, I was excited about that. So I was like, I really want you guys to get it. Fuck. So, yeah, sadly, the merch is out of our hands. I think when I was talking to Mr. Lawyerman about it, I was really mad. And I was like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do about this? I'm gonna cry. I literally said that. Like, as he was like telling me the updates and shit, I was like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do?
Thanks, Wolf.
I'm gonna cry about it.
For the 9
After that, I'm gonna lock in. But right now, I'm gonna cry. Well, I'm gonna cry like a man. and then I did. And then afterwards, I locked in a little bit. Crying in sync. Semi good news, chat. For those of you who are affected by the merch issues, because I know a lot of you guys sent like inquiries. We also have some data. So we're going to be cross-referencing a lot of things. We're gonna be, well, when I say we, Maiko. In the future, I told chat that I do not feel good making new merch before this situation is sorted. It's just a conscience thing, so we are working towards like a consolidation package. It might not be the same thing you guys ordered basically, which is the suckier part, but I hope it would be better. We're basically working on something, so for those of you that are affected,
Thanks,
you will
David
be getting something free
for the sub.
You're not paying anything more for that, but it might take a while because obviously we need to sort certain things. Yeah, you get a consolation. I don't know how to pronounce it. Consolation apology prize. It's gonna be a surprise. I think you guys would like it. I hope you guys would like it. But let us cook and you're gonna get something cool.